Hey guys, it's your girl T. So everybody named Mama been wanting to know my opinion about the whole situation concerning all the drama about the new VH1 reality TV show called Sorority Sisters. So Monday after Love and Hip Hop New York, I had stayed tuned to watch it. I had heard mumblings about it, but I really didn't know what the show was about. And you know, silly little me put too much confidence and hope into 51 Minds, VH1, and Mona Scott Young, okay? So I really thought the show was going to be about sisterhood and showing Greek life and what it is to pledge. So instead of showing these women doing community work and public service missions, they decided to show how much drama they could be filled into an hour episode and how much they could berate and talk shit about each other and keep up stereotypes like AKAs being stuck up thinking they're all that, Deltas thinking that they're divas and you know they're beefing with AKAs, and Zetas not being ugly. And it was just so stupid and scripted, and I just couldn't deal with it. You know what I'm saying? I tried to watch the first 30 minutes, and after a while I was like, y'all, I gotta change the channel. I try to hang in there with y'all, but this is not my cup of tea. It was just so over the top. Even these so-called Soros, all these bitches look like they graduated class in 1993. I'm like, these are some old-ass college people. I'm not saying you can't go to college at any age, but really, everybody on the show looks like they're in their late to mid-40s. Like, really? Like, I'm not taking none of this stuff seriously. So once the show hit, it caused a lot of backlash. A lot of people on Twitter had things to say. A lot of advertisers are now saying that they're pulling out of the advertising for that show. So it's causing a lot of backlash. A lot of the Black Greeks are really upset. So I'm going to go ahead and show you guys some of the comments, some of the tweets, and what folks were saying on Twitter. And I will come back with the rest of my commentary. Alright, so you guys just saw all the tweets, the complaints, you know what I'm saying, what everybody had to say that night. So as of today, k.michelle is not speaking out. She went down to 92Q, down in B-More to talk to Kiki Brown. And as we all know, k.michelle is a Delta. She's a proud Delta. And basically, she stated her opinion of the show. I want you guys to check out this small snippet, and I will come back with the rest of my commentary.
Now, you're in the VH1 fam,
yes.
And I know you're cool with Mona Scott. Mm-hmm. You and I are sorority sisters.
Yes.
And Sorority Sisters aired last night. Mm-hmm. I wanted to know what you thought of the show. I'm rocking my
real.
letters.
It's not appropriate.
Okay.
Like, I love Mona. I love VH1 to death. They are all my family, but I'm not a fake person in my beliefs. Mm-hmm. That should have never been touched. Something should be sacred for us, especially at a time when our Black community is struggling so much with things. The sororities and fraternities are the one things that we look to in college that uplift the community. You know, things aren't peaches and cream, but everything doesn't need to be exposed when it comes to that. Mm-hmm. I am a Delta. I have acted a fool on TV, but at the same time, I didn't do it with the Delta Sigma Theta tatted on my back in front of people. It's not an excuse for anything that I might have done within TV, but at the end of the day, we are all human. But you don't get on TV in the name of women that came before us and do what you're doing. Absolutely. I have no respect for those women. They can get mad if they want to. I don't care. I don't plan on watching that. I do not plan on supporting that. And I will support them as sisters, and I will support them as women within their businesses. But when you represent a whole brand and you're talking about this brand on TV, it is not appropriate. Yes, we are Deltas, we are human, we do all act a fool in our ways. That's human. But you don't get on there ooping and doing all of that while acting a fool. Where I'm from and where we pledged, you weren't even allowed to drink. Or you weren't even, you're not allowed to throw up those symbols while you're drinking. So not only are you guys throwing up symbols and drinking, going against how we were, pledged and brought in, you guys are fighting and cursing with the letters on your back. Not appropriate.
Yeah. Me being a member of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated, I know that the behavior does not complement the principles that we have. We are a community service organization. We are all about scholarship. We are all about sisterly love. And although we in our own personal lives can be a little ratchet, sometimes we are.
Life.
It's life. But to portray that on television, it hurt my heart. Number one, to see women act like that.
Y'all didn't act like we acted.
Well, they only had one.
Yeah.
So one girl, and I know it was just the first show, but I mean, that's just this. It's sacred, like you said. Be left alone. And they want to ban it. So there's people want to boycott the show. So
yeah, well, I just feel like VH1's great for me. They have helped me, tremendously, and I will always support them. I definitely will always support Mona Scott because she gave me opportunity when others didn't. But just because you support someone doesn't mean you have to always agree with everything. And I'm not that type of artist and woman. I don't just take the back seat in my beliefs. And pledging was something that was very important to me. It was my mom's a Delta. Now my little sister's a Delta. My daddy's a Sigma. This is something within my household that my parents have taken and I've taken very seriously. So I was very hurt. I said I was going to watch the episode in hopes that I could at least defend it in some type of way because my tweets were off the chain last night. Yeah. People were like, are you going to make a guest appearance? Absolutely not. I'm not
Ebony Steele, who's also Delta, she was very upset. And I believe Jasmine Saunders is she a Delta? I believe she's a Delta. She was very upset, and there were a lot of AKAs. I don't know if Selena Johnson, she's in my soror. So we'll see what happens. But I wanted to ask you your thought. I thank you so much for taking the time out.
Another TV show with women fighting, we can watch
we don't.
I mean, we got it. Let's watch what we got. The ratings are high. We, it's doing good. Love and Hip Hop, super entertaining. Let's sit there. Let's watch that. Why throw something else? Into
it's the wrong message for young girls.
Yeah, who want to be in these sororities.
Who want to be in these sororities. So, thank you.
All right, so you guys just watched that snippet of what k.michelle had to say. While I do agree with a lot of what k.michelle had to say, I'm going to keep it 100. She is not the right person to be delivering that message, okay? I don't give a damn if she walked onto the show with the Delta letters on her back. If she walked onto the show like this, throwing up the Delta sign. k.michelle acted a fool just like these other people. So to me, it's the pot calling the kettle black. Folks are saying that it's okay for k.michelle to kind of shame them and talk about them, because she didn't go in representing Delta. But again, she also didn't put the Delta brand in a good light either because a lot of people knew that she was a Delta. At the end of the day, I feel like some of this is selective outrage. People want this boycotted. People want this pulled off the air, and that's fine. People have the right to boycott. People have the right to pull it off the air. Me personally, I choose not to watch it again. If they want to put it on the air, that's fine. Because at the end of the day, folks want to get mad at Mona. They want to get mad at VH1. But like I said on Twitter, while folks are mad at Mona and VH1, why are they not showing the same anger towards the Soros who decide to go on this show? Who decide to sit there and squeak and squawk and show all the secrets? You know what I'm saying? The Divine Nine, all this is supposed to be kept behind closed doors. You're not supposed to know about any of this until you pledge. You know what I mean? You can't even do any of the steps unless you are a member. So I just find it just really, really tacky that they would sell out for a VH1 check, and that's what they did. So if anything, the members of these sororities need to be mad at these women who chose to exploit their sororities for reality television. Because people only do what you allow them to do. They can pitch an idea. You know what I'm saying? But if they don't have nobody volunteering to be on the show, then the show's a bust. The show's not going to get made. But being that they had these thirsty ass women who are looking for fame and fortune, you know what I'm saying, who are willing to sell their souls and sell out their sororities to go on this show, then they had it made, point blank. You know, so I feel like, you know, to me, I feel like there's a lot of hypocrisy because, you know, the same people who are complaining about these ratchet shows also watch Love and Hip Hop New York, Love and Hip Hop ATL, Love and Hip Hop Hollywood, Real Housewives of Atlanta, and everything else. And y'all know me, I'm always keep it 100. I watch all them shows, I recap them shows, and I make no apologies. I watch ratchet TV. There's certain shows I like and there's certain shows I don't watch. You know what I'm saying? I also used to watch the Jersey Shore. I also used to watch The Real World. So there's certain things I watch and there's certain things that I don't watch. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to front. You know what I'm saying? Act like I don't watch those shows or, you know, I'm better than because I don't watch them shows. I damn sure do watch them shows. So my thing is, if you guys are angry about the show and you guys don't want the show on the air, then you don't tune in. When there's not viewership and there's not people watching the show, when viewership drops, they stop making the shows. But if people continue to watch the shows, guess what? There's going to be a second season and a third season and a fourth season. Hence why we're now on the 5th season of Love and Hip Hop. You know what I'm saying? So I just find the whole situation crazy, but I can't stand behind what k.michelle said because like I said, the same ratchet shows that she's trying to knock and act like she's better than is what made her a household name. Millions of people, including myself, did not know who k.michelle was, never heard of her until she was on Love and Hip Hop Atlanta, and k.michelle showed out on that show. She made a lot of people dislike her by her antics. So now to try and shake these women, you know, I just kind of found that funny because at the end of the day, these women are making their sororities look bad, but I didn't see these women fighting. I didn't see these women hitting people in the face with flowers and cussing folks out and, you know, doing all the stuff that k.michelle did. So again, like I said, cool message, wrong messenger, point blank. At the end of the day, once these celebrities stop going on these type of shows and stop exploiting themselves, only then will that image change. But, you know, for me, it's a double-edged sword because, like I said, I watch these shows and I find a lot of these shows entertaining. I find them funny. That's not how I behave. I don't mirror my life after any of these people. It's something to watch on a Monday. But at the end of the day, I know how to carry myself. And if people are so closed-minded as to think that this is how all black people behave and this is how all black women act and this is how all black men act, then those are people that I wouldn't surround myself with anyways. Because if that's the case, is it fair for me to think that all white people act like the kids of the Jersey Shore or that all middle-aged white women act like the mob wives? You know what I'm saying? So you have a lot of ratchet white TV shows out here too, but unfortunately there's a balance. And that's the thing that bothers me more is that there's no balance. I don't mind the ratchet television, but I also wish that there was a balance. You know what I'm saying? Like even back in the day, like when we had shows like The Cosby Show, A Different World, Family Matters. You know, we had a lot of those really, really good shows to balance out shows like The Real World and when, you know, reality TV was first coming out there. But nowadays there's no balance. All we have is ratchet television when it comes to black media. So until black media changes that, until people start being more creative as opposed to just pushing out reality TV shows, yeah, I was going to have this. You know, because reality TV shows, you got to think about it, it's about money. It's a lot easier to produce. You don't have to cast anybody. You already have the family that you want. You know, Nelly has a show out, Nellyville, and his show's not really ratchet. It's okay. It's hella scripted, but it's a lot better than Family Hustle. I can't stand that show at all. You know, but it's just the point that I just wish that more black folks would get into writing and creating and producing TV shows. You know what I mean? And even when we do produce TV shows, people get mad. You got a lot of people who are mad at Scandal and they go in on Miss Rhymes and they say a lot of things about her. You got people who are mad at How to Get Away with Murder. So it's just like, you know, it's a no-win situation. So I don't know. But I don't see reality television, I don't see ratchet TV going away anytime soon. But again, like I said, I agree with the message that k.michelle was saying, but in my personal opinion, she's the wrong messenger, and I just see a lot of hypocrisy with this. You know, a lot of folks are mad. You know, a lot of folks want to draw the line at Sorority Sisters, which I agree was a shitty show, and I'm not going to watch it again. I couldn't get with any of the characters. I didn't enjoy the show, period. That's not my cup of tea. But why is that the final straw? You know, why are people ready to boycott that, but then in the same breath, y'all tuned into Love and Hip Hop New York right before this show came on? So, I don't know. Do you think it's hypocrisy? You know, how do you feel about ratchet television? Do you think it should be off the air altogether? Do you feel like people are being hypocritical because they watch Real Housewives of Atlanta, they watch Scandal, they watch Love and Hip Hop, but now they're mad at Sorority Sisters? Or do you feel like the Sorority Sisters are foul as hell for even going on this show and putting the Divine Nine out there? So, let's go ahead and get the discussion popping. All right, deuces.